Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Will County Board meeting for March 19th, 2026. I'll call this meeting to order. Member Revis will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and introduce the clergy.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join me in the prayer. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Richmond, Williams, Dean Schlottman, Ogala, Pretzel, Butler, Newquist, Balich, Oxley, Brooks, Winfrey, Bullock, Logan, Freeman, Revis, Mitchell, Ortiz, Berkowitz, Hickey, Costa, Trainier, Van Dyne. We have 19. Bail.
Okay, 19 members present. We have a quorum. I need a motion to place on file the certificate of publication. Motion by Winfrey, seconded by Trainier. Madam Clerk, please call the roll and please add member Balich to the rolls.
Richmond, Williams, Dean Ogala, Pretzel, Butler, Newquist, Balich, Oxley, Brooks, Winfrey, Bullock, Logan, Freeman, Revis, Ortiz, Berkowitz, Hickey, Costa, Trainier, Van Dyne. 20.
When in the affirmative, the motion carries. Moving on to the Will County Board minutes from February 19th, 2026. I need a motion to approve. Motion by Trainier, seconded by Freeman. Is there previous? Previous by Bullock, second by Hickey. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to approve the minutes from the February 19th, 2026 executive session. Motion by Brooks, seconded by Freeman. Previous by Trainier, seconded by Winfrey. All in favor? Any opposed? The motion carries. Madam Clerk, will you please acknowledge the elected officials and media present today?
Today we have County Executive Jennifer Bertino Tarrant, County Clerk Annette Parker, Coroner Lori Summers, Auditor Duffy Blackburn, Treasurer Tim Brophy, and we have Mayor Terry Kearns from the Village of Diamond.
No, I think I don't either. We have no honorary resolutions or proclamations today. We are going to move on to public comment for agenda items only. At this time, I invite anyone to come up for public comment for today's agenda items. So if you have something to say today for our agenda, please come up this way. A reminder, this is for any of our issues, including land use. And you have, if you come up, please make sure you just state your name for us, and you have 3 minutes.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay, great. Thank you so much. My name is Chad Chabazi. I'm here for land use item number 2 with respect to the community solar project, Mr. Quain's site. We call it BAP Quain. I wanted to point out that I'm here on behalf of the applicant, BAP Power. Wanted to point out that Mr. Quain is here. His family's owned the site for over close to 80 to 100 years. He was here for the zoning meeting as well as the Land Use Development Committee meeting in support of the project. Just a bit of background on our company. We've been in business for over 17 years and developed 500 clean energy projects across 14 states. 20 of those projects are right here in the state of Illinois. We've, at this point, we're close to 10 employees here in the state, and I'm proud of that. Just a quick background on the project. It's near 5949 West Eagle Lake Road, near Peatone. The system size is approximately 5 megawatts, and it's actually a second phase of a project that's owned by Mr. Quain. The first phase was approved by Will County back last April, almost a year ago, 2025. The site is less suitable for other types of development. There are actually 2 existing oil pipelines that run across the site underground. They're owned by Enbridge, and that's crude oil that runs underground. So essentially, it's less suitable for other types of development. The February 2026 Will County Planning staff recommended approval. They said that we met all the county ordinance requirements, including max height panels, setback requirements, glare, underground utilities, and security fencing. And they recommended the project for approval. We have received no objections from either Will Township or the Village of Peatone. And that leads me to my last point, which is the community benefits from this project. So we've committed to $200,000 to be set aside for local community organizations. That includes the Will Township, the Manhattan Fire District, who we've been working closely with on the first project as well as a few other nonprofits that are prominent here in Will County. There's also property tax revenue from the project that's codified in Illinois statute. We estimate it'll be anywhere from $20,000 to $25,000 per year, and that'll be a flow down from the county down to the school districts, the fire district, and the like. And finally, this is a community solar project, so anyone who wants to sign up for the project here in Will County will have the ability to do so. They'll receive 10 to 20% bill credit savings on their ComEd bill. No obligations. They can cancel anytime they want. That's all I wanted to mention. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. No, yeah. You'll be able to ask them during oriented land use to the staff. Yep. Any other public comments for today? Going once, twice? All right. Thank you. We're going to move on to old business. All resolutions and ordinances from the February 19th, 2026 board meeting have been signed and returned. We do have one resolution from last month. Would you like to take that, Mr. Van Dyne, or would you like me?
Number 2 on our agenda,
Correct. I know, but yep.
Resolution 26-60, resolution authorizing the county executive to negotiate and execute an agreement of intent to abate taxes for Project North Winds, and I so move.
We have a motion and a second. Previous by Newquist, seconded by, hold on, can you just, we have a motion and a second. I just want to hold on. So, Joe, if you can just read, okay, we have a motion and a second. I need you to amend your resolution. So it says Hyundai Translead. All right, so if you could, can he just, is that what he can do? We're going to have you remove your motion and then make a new motion. Withdraw, yeah. Oh, sorry, yeah.
My apologies. I'd like to withdraw my motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Do I need to make an amendment?
No, just you can,
New resolution?
yep, just sits with the correct name.
All right. Resolution 26-60, resolution authorizing the county executive to negotiate and execute an agreement of intent to abate taxes for Hyundai Transit.
Motion by Van
Motion.
Dyne, seconded by Trenier. Any discussion? Previous roll call by Revis, seconded by, I asked if he went into right away. Do you have yep, sorry.
So when you enter into negotiations, before any decisions or final offers are made, it comes before us again? Before that, any decision is?
This was something that was, if I recall, brought to the executive committee last month. We were voting on it here, so nothing has changed. And they were just asked to table it till this month. That's it. So nothing has changed from last month. So it was brought to executive committee.
So when you negotiate the contract, it'll come back before the board before approval, right?
It's in your packet, the final agreement.
This is the final agreement.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
Am I saying that wrong? Right. Yep, hold on.
So under your ordinances, the executive will negotiate the terms of the abatement. The final agreement to the abatement is subject to a completion of all those terms. So it does have to come back before the board to make sure that those terms were put in place and fulfilled. Thank you. So that you will see this a second time. I'll send you the ordinance just for your own.
Okay, so a roll call.
We're going to add member Mitchell to the rolls, please. Madam Clerk, so this is on old business item number 2. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Richmond? Williams?
Yes.
Ogella?
Yes.
Pretzel?
Yes.
Butler?
No.
Newquist? Balich? Oxley?
Yes.
Brooks?
Yes.
Winfrey? Bullock? Logan?
Yes.
Freeman? Revis?
Yes.
Mitchell? Ortiz? Berkowitz?
We're in the roll call. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Hickey? Costa? Trainier? Van Dyne?
Yes.
With 20 in the affirmative, the motion carries. Moving on to presentation from the Will County Strategic Plan. We have I'm going to turn this over to Leader Williams to present.
Thank you. As most of my fellow board members know, we've been trying to get this strategic plan off the ground now, and we finally are going to get started. So I would like to introduce the team that is going to be leading us in this endeavor, and it's going to be led by a team of 3 people, and I'm going to introduce Ms. Swilly, and she'll introduce everybody else. Lori Swilly is the CEO and founder of Leap HR Consulting LLC, launched in May 2022. The company is a premier destination for leadership development and consulting, specializing in strategic planning, talent management, workforce engagement, and HR training. Lori spent more than 20 years in corporate America working with Fortune 500 companies to lead their people and HR functions. Her experience includes director roles at McDonald's Corporation, the Home Depot, and Allied Universal Security, plus a solid track record of management and people development. She is an advocate for community engagement and building trusted partnerships. Lori serves as a board member on the Bolingbrook Park District Foundation and the Will County CED. She will also be working with Mr. Jim Rink and Mr. Vince Clark, and I now introduce Ms. Swilly, if you would please.
So before you begin, I'm going to ask for a direct. So we have about 15 minutes allotted for this presentation. Do you want, within that time frame, if it lasts 15 minutes, great. If not, we'll open up to questions. Is that the intent? Okay, just making sure. All right, you're up, ma'am. Thank you.
You, Sherry, appreciate the introduction, and thank you all for the opportunity to present to you. And I have to thank Jim Rink and Vince, because those two are going to partner with me on leading this planning initiative. So first, let me just say that this proposal addresses a unique need that your board has, which is to build alignment and to make sure we've got a foundation of having a strategic platform to go forward, to align on the priorities that the board wants to address for the residents and the members of our county. And I am excited to be here with you. This is an area that's already in my wheelhouse. I've done a lot of strategic planning in my background, not just for corporate America, but even for the private sector and the work that I've done in the nonprofit space. Also, on the personal side, I continue to be, I think, a board member with my husband's family. He is one of 17 children, so they already have a built-in board right there. So I say that tongue in cheek because we've got to understand we're dealing with people all the time. And your goal is to make sure you're doing the best that you can for the constituents and the residents of the county. I also want to let you know, as I was doing research and looking at some of the demographics here, the number 22 came to my mind as we've got 22 members. And if you are into numerology, 22 is a unique number. And I'm just going to read to you what 22 stands for. It's considered a master builder. And 22 symbolizes the ability to turn ambitious dreams into reality through balance, discipline, and practical action. It's also associated with manifesting large-scale goals. That's something that we need to do, right, as a board. Also, from a biblical sense, it certainly has biblical connotation. However, I want to hone in on the fact that it encourages harmony, balance, and keeping on one's path. Here's another piece of master builder, and I think you guys will find this enlightening. Those influenced by the number 22, which is called Life Path 22, often display these traits: practical idealism, large-scale impact, leadership and responsibility, and there's a shadow side as well, which comes with the territory. But I think you all would agree that these are characteristics and traits that are not unique just to Will County Board, but for any board. Your goal here is to be the master builder for your county. So with that, I will go ahead and go through the presentation and the initiative that we have developed for you. So who is Leap HR Consulting? Leap HR really is my firm, and we specialize in organizational development. We specialize in leadership training, HR consulting, and really all aspects of people planning. Deep experience facilitating complex engagement, being able to bring stakeholders together, such as yourself, and build bridges across communities. Also, we bring strength-based knowledge, a people-first approach, a strength in governance, and being able to understand unique challenges to bring frameworks together. I am based in Bolingbrook, and I have a familiarity with the county. I have been a resident of Bolingbrook for the past 9 years, but I've been living in Illinois probably most of my life. So I have I think a good lens as to what's going on within the county. And I am committed to this county. Next. Okay, so why now? Why this strategic planning? Well, I'll tell you, when we talked with Sherry and just taking a look at your materials, your websites, your information, and talking to you, there is an opportunity for us to come up with a plan that will address the gaps that you all currently face, a plan that will provide a sense of direction and an area of focus. It will align your priorities, and it will help you achieve your common goals. So the whole intent of the plan is to formalize it and give us a path forward. Also, onboarding. As you look at the folks around the room, how many of you actually had an onboarding experience? Where you're told what exactly your responsibilities are. And as we have people coming on to the board, we also have people that may exit the board. So there is a need for onboarding material, and that will consider offboarding as well. So these members would get the opportunity to get vast institutional knowledge, to make sure that they understand what their roles and responsibilities are, and that we can continue to thrive not only during electoral cycles, but that we'll be set up for success. And finally, addressing the diverse community that really spans this entire county. So, and this plan must reflect the unique needs of the urban side, the large communities such as in cities in Joliet, to the rural areas of places like Peatone. So got to make sure it is a comprehensive approach. How are we going to do this? So the approach really is a 4-stage integrated process where within 4 phases, really 4 months, you will see what the plan is. Tactically, we've got some things that we would like to do. Starting in April, there will be an online survey that will be sent to all of you because we need your feedback. You are vital to helping establish this plan. We will get some qualitative and quantitative data during that first phase. The second phase really would be stakeholder engagement. So making sure that we're doing one-on-one interviews with people whose feedback really matters. And stakeholders such as yourself, but also who are those community members? Who are those people that we really need to hear from, that we know have a voice in the community, but will also have a vital input in helping us build a sustainable future? And then a workshop. What would things be without a leadership workshop, right? We are prepared to have an offsite workshop. And right now it says a full day, but we just need to get together and we need to culminate minds and talk about what the unique challenges are. That would include doing a SWOT analysis where we would address the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that the community and the counties face. It would also help address the strategic direction and making sure that you all have certainty in where you're headed. And then finally, the plan development. This is where everything comes together, right? And we are going to draft the plan, provide all of the data that we have collected along with the leadership feedback, and then finally a product. So you will get a finished product based on what we do within those 4 months, culminating at the end of July. Key deliverables. What are you going to get? Okay, because there is a commitment, right? And you want a return on your investment. So you are going to get a survey, right? We have to have a survey because we all know we are data driven. And the survey will be comprehensive. That will include all of the geographic data that we collected. One-on-one interviews with all of the board members. We also want to encourage open and honest feedback. There will be a level of anonymity to this because we don't need to say who said what, but we will certainly make sure that the feedback is included within the report. The offsite workshop. That workshop will consist of team building, allowing us to do some assessments, as well as to really dig deep into understanding analytically what's going on across the county. And then strategic plan session. That's really going to be the goal setting. Feedback from the leadership team to help draft the plan, the onboarding and offboarding framework, which will be a first for the county. And then the strategic plan report, up to 30 pages, but it's not going to be that long. And then the presentation to the executive committee. That will be our committee chairs. Let's look at the timeline and the investment, because again, you want to make sure you're getting an ROI for what you're committing to. April timeline. The project is really in partnership with the phased approach. So you'll see project timeline, and then you'll see the project investment. We've broken it down into each phase of the timeline. Hence, there's going to be a initial assessment payment. So in April, that board survey, April through May, would be phase 2. June and July is going to be our phase 4. So you'll see from initial assessment, phase 1, to final plan development, phase 4, and then the breakdown from a financial perspective. There's a total investment that was earmarked for $12,000, and anything else that we do outside of that would have to be additional. So the offsite, right, that we are proposing, that would be just a little bit more in terms of if we want to do that offsite, that would have to be an additional assessment. So that is our timeline. Aggressive? Yeah, but we feel it's doable. And considering the time that we've already been waiting to get this executed, we really want to make sure we are hitting the ground running and that we're moving at a rapid pace. Finally, the strategic plan report. This just gives you an overview of what you're going to get. Everything from the cover sheet to the organizational summary, our strategic themes that were identified from our analytical work, stakeholder engagement feedback, as well as insights, the data insights that we collect over the 12-month, 3-year, and 5-year trajectory. An executive summary, of course, and then followed by some of the other framework materials that we included. So pretty much, you're going to get a comprehensive overview of everything that we cover throughout the 4 months. Now, I think this is where we're toward the end, Sherry. So together, we are hoping that we can build something together on behalf of Will County. So thank you for allowing me to present this strategic initiative to you all. Questions?
Thank you. So we have about 5 more minutes. If you have some questions, we'll take a few questions. Member Ogala.
I don't have any questions. I just want to say that I love your personality. I love your enthusiasm and your excitement, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Member Brooks.
Good morning, Lori. Thank you for your presentation. My question about the first page you put up there. You mentioned you will be addressing some gaps and how to fill those gaps. And I'm just curious to know, what are gaps? I put caulk around my window for gaps. But what are I didn't quite understand, Lori, what the gaps were that you were
Yes,
looking.
no, that's a great question, and thank you for that. So when you look at other counties, and we want to benchmark, right? We always want to make sure we're benchmark and we're not just looking at ourselves. But what are we not addressing? What are the unknown challenges? What are the other counties doing? How are we being competitive? A gap would be something like the orientation that we realized early on as we were going through the website, talking to Sherry and stakeholders, understanding what are we doing to build strong board members? What are we doing to retain them? And what are we doing to keep that institutional knowledge? So that's an area, right, that we identified as a gap in how do we make sure we are accurately and adequately addressing the onboarding and offboarding of board members. So there's one opportunity. And then something as simple as looking at the website for the county. And if you look at the website for Will County and you look at a couple others, you may see that there could be some gaps and some areas that we're not addressing. And if we're looking at continuing to build residents, right, and get people to want to come and move to Will County, that may be a place that people go to say, well, what does the county offer me? So those are the gaps. Yes, you're welcome.
All right. I don't see any other questions. Leader Williams, would you close or anything? Oh, I'm sorry. We do have one more question. Member Berkowitz, just put her light on.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming today. It's a pleasure to meet you.
You're
And
welcome.
it was a very nice presentation, and I do love your enthusiasm and your cheerfulness. Thank you for being here. I have a couple of questions, maybe not so much for you, though, so I'm not sure. In the presentation, you indicated that you'll take your final summary and you will be going forward to our executive committee. I just want to say, and this is to the board, I don't understand why that would not be done to the entire board, whether it's a committee of the whole or during a full county board meeting. But I feel that that is more appropriate and more effective to be shared with the entire, all members of the county board and not the executive committee, because the executive committee does not include vice chairs. So it only includes chairs, and vice chairs have been told that they really are nothing but just another board member on the board. So I think we need to really open it up to the whole board. That's my recommendation. I also want to just clarify that I don't know that we're going forward in this process to necessarily look at benefits or services that the board provides. I think it's more, we need to focus on team building and our personal skills and networking with each other. So I'd like to make sure that it's focused where it needs to be, because as elected officials, we have very clearly defined responsibilities. We're not employees, but we are elected to fill our our positions, and they're clearly defined and they are unique. And I think that's where what happens is when new people come on board, things are so busy that maybe there wasn't that little bit of time to get that person oriented and trained, or just maybe advocating with somebody that's kind of fallen through the cracks sometimes. So if we could maybe have a little more, discussion about making sure we're looking at specific goals. I just felt that it was a little bit too broad, especially for the role as a Will County board member. And our county board does function differently than other counties. So thank you very much.
And I'm sure, while you speak to your individual, you'll be able to point these out. So because we're over the time, I'm going to let Member Butler, Speaker Van Dyne, I'm going to let Sherry, Leader Williams close, and then we'll go on to the next item. Member Butler.
So I just want to say that listening to everything, sometimes we get bogged down in our daily, grind here, and I love the potential of the 22. So if that can outline what your goals are as well, I'm very supportive of this.
Thank you.
Speaker Van Dyne.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I do think it would be a good idea to maybe present to the entire board, maybe not during a full board meeting, because we do have other business to attend to, but a committee of the whole would be a good idea. Also, that way we could include the vice chairs. And I want to say that I believe the vice chairs of all the standing committees are very important, because as we know, they have chaired meetings in the past, because we definitely here at the county board have attendance problems. So the vice chairs are very active, and I would like them to be able to participate as well. Thank you.
All right, Leader Williams, would you like to close?
Yes. And I'd like to thank Ms. Willie and her team. And I'd just like to say that nothing is written in stone. This is our plan. So we do what we do. And if we need to amend things, we can amend them as such. So, and hopefully we will take this all to heart and do what we need to do to make this the best board that we can be. That's my goal. Hopefully that's everybody's goal. And I also just would like to finally remind everybody that we actually did vote on doing this unanimously. So I'm hoping that we're going to work towards it unanimously as well. And thank you again, Ms. Willie.
Thank you all for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. We are going to move on to new business now. We have another presentation. We'll welcome Bob Navarro with the Heritage Quarter 100th year anniversary of Route 66. He says he only has an hour. Presentation, yeah.
45 minutes.
Sorry.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Appreciate the opportunity to give you an update about our Will County partnership, as well as Route 66 and the exciting things that are happening here in 2026. We made it. 2026, we're here. So just a couple quick facts about our office. Again, my name is Bob Navarro. I'm with Heritage Quarter Destinations. We represent 6 counties, of which Will County is one. We employ 7 staff that work here in Joliet. That's full and part-time staff on behalf of what we're doing for our member communities. We're one of 38 CVBs in the state that receive a state grant to do some of the marketing, promotion, and product development that we do for our communities. And we're also DMAP accredited. We've been DMAP accredited since 2014, and DMAP just simply is a process that shows that we have met standards in a variety of areas like governance, HR, marketing, promotion, sales, things like that. Also, full disclosure, you have a representative on our board, and that is Micah Freeman. So thank you for Micah for all she does for representing Will County on our board. Some of the benefits of working with us are 3 main websites where you'll see most of Will County represented is hcdestinations.com, visitwill.com, the first 100 miles, as well as Lincoln Highway, Illinois .com. So there's other sites that we work with and we populate, but those are the main 4 sites that we are promoting Will County. We also include Will County in a variety of our publications, both print, videos, social media, different types of advertising. When we go to trade shows for leisure, sports, and meetings, it's all about trying to bring that business from outside the community into our community to spend money for shopping, dining, and overnight stays. We also have access to a variety of reports and research from both Zardico and Smith Travel, but we also work with Illinois Office of Tourism, with U.S. Travel, and DK Shiflett and some of their numbers. That's where we get the county numbers on how the counties are stacking up and performing. On our main page, you'll see that Will County is represented, and in addition to this presence, we have partner communities and partners that are on those pages. So I just want to give you a snapshot of what that looked like. We also work with a variety of cities, villages, and townships on promoting their destination management marketing for them. Next slide. So we publish 2 travel guides. Will County is prominent in both of those guides. One is definitely geared towards Route 66 from Chicago to Pontiac. The other guide is more canal towns and Starved Rock. I can tell you that of our advertising and marketing that we've placed, we had over 30,000 requests for individual fulfillment, and we use this guide as our fulfillment. And that means we mailed out over 30,000 guides to individuals that saw our marketing and advertising and requested an individual guide. We also distribute guides a variety of other ways through hotels, events, things like that. I know we've given them to all of you before. Our next guide will be coming out in May, June. There's 50,000 of each of those publications. And next slide. So last fall, we launched visitwill.com, and in just a few short months between when we launched that in fall to December, we had over 3,000 website hits to that and over 6,000 page views. And we also followed that up with some social media for Visit Will, and then some ad placements for Visit Will, both print and some statewide travel guides, scenic byway guides, Route 66 guides. And then we had some billboards and Springfield at the state fairgrounds promoting Visit Will. So that just launched in late fall, and those are just some quick numbers from the fall. Last year, we also launched Lincoln Highway, Illinois, and I'm proud to say that we're receiving a grant from IDOT to populate the site. It's really the marketing arm of the Lincoln Highway, and it goes from border to border. And we have over 40 communities listed on the site, nine of which are Will County communities. So we're real proud of what we built on that site, the inventory of properties and attractions that we listed on that site. Again, we just launched it last year, so we're still adding to that and populating that site. Lincoln Highway was the first byway that went from coast to coast, so it went through 13 of the U.S. states. Next slide. So as a destination marketing organization, it's really, we through our brand management, our investment and our promotion, marketing, sales, we try to create a place where people want to visit. Because if we're creating a place where people want to visit, they also want to live there. And if people are wanting to live in a certain location, they also want to work in that location. And then once they've created a place where you want to visit, live, and work, then they're investing in their community. And that's really what all of our destination marketing organizations follow in our economic development model. All right, Route 66. Let's jump to the next slide. In fiscal year 22, there was $4 million available to the CVBs that were along Route 66 from Chicago down to Granite City by the Chain of Rocks Bridge. Each year, there's been different requirements on how much a bureau could apply for, but since fiscal year 22, our bureau has received, including this year, $5.8 million for projects along Route 66. So those projects include new attractions, museums, new signs, new photo opportunities. Of that $5.8 million, 3.4 of it's coming back to projects here in Will County. And those are going to communities, Joliet, Wilmington, Lockport. So there's a variety of communities that have benefited from our Route 66 grant opportunities. This year, we're excited we just received the grant agreement last week from DCO. So some of the projects that we're working on this year with the grant is a tire tower that will be over 20 feet tall at the Chicagoland Speedway. We're also working on a new EV charging station as well as new signage in Wilmington. And then there's a series where we're working with Steve Strite over in Lockport, where he's going to put these 100-year benches into different communities. So the benches are all the same, but they're going to be decorated and completed by different artists. So different artists are going to do different benches, and the benches will be in different communities. And I believe there's about 12 benches that are coming out of this Route 66 grant that will be in a variety of our communities. So again, we want to thank our legislators that set aside those dollars because we really wanted to make sure that Illinois was ready for these visitors that are coming both domestically and internationally for Route 66. And this money went all into product development. So murals, you probably have seen Gigantar here in town. That sign was paid for out of the grant. The murals along the Rialto, they're also celebrating an anniversary this year. That came out of the grant. So there's a variety of projects that were funded out of that Route 66 grant. So where can you find out about what's happening with Route 66 this year? These are the three main websites that we are referring people to. The first site, route66centennial.org, will tell you what's happening in all 8 states. So if you're interested in what's happening in California or Missouri or one of the other states, including Illinois, route66centennial.org is the site for that. Here in Illinois, we're promoting Illinois route66centennial.org, and that's really, like I said, from Chicago down to Granite City, the Chain of Rocks Bridge. And then our site is the first100miles.com site. So these are the 3 main sites that we're encouraging people to go to. Now, to get into some of the specifics regarding the Centennial celebrations, the celebrations will happen between April and November, basically. So in April, April 30th was a significant date, signing legislation acknowledging the route. So all 8 states are planning something on that April 30th date. So the U.S. Centennial Organization, they picked a main site location that's Springfield, Missouri. And then the way they set up their celebration is they asked different states to bid on being satellite cities. And the satellite city for Illinois is City of Joliet. So we're going to be doing a big house ball game at the old Joliet prison. And that's going to happen on April 30th. So that will be in the morning show. There will be some national recognition for that, for Joliet being selected as a satellite city, but also for the activities that are happening throughout the day there. I think the ball game's happening in the afternoon. There's going to be food trucks and entertainment and things, but we'll get some national press in the morning show on nationally with what all the other states are doing for Route 66. That's going to lead right into our red carpet corridor weekend, which really our communities along Route 66 have rolled out the red carpet, so to speak, for our domestic and international visitors. We're celebrating all things Route 66 from Joliet to Bloomington. That festival has been around for over 25 years. And this year we did receive a state grant from the Route 66 Centennial Commission to do some new promotional items around that event, around that weekend. And then also a large chunk of dollars were given to each of the communities for entertainment. So a lot of, I think 9 of the 15 communities are receiving grants to do bands, entertainment, face painting, just a variety of different things will be happening in those communities. Of the communities, Joliet's receiving the largest of the community grants at $10,000 for programming that weekend, and I believe most of it's going through downtown Joliet bands and entertainment that will be at several of the different locations here in City Center. Also that weekend, like I said, there's a lot going on. I'm talking pretty fast here. A lot going on. On Sunday, May 3rd is the first of a 3 6.6K run. Now, before you freak out, 6.6K is only 4 miles. We can all walk 4 miles. And that'll be the first of the 3 runs. So there's going to be one in Joliet, one in Dwight, and one in Wilmington. And if you finish all 3, the medals will slide in together and create another image on the back. Also on Sunday, May 3rd, the Rialto will be doing some centennial programming and also showing the movie Cars. This is the 20th anniversary of the movie Cars, by the way. So there's all kinds of celebrations happening. So we're thrilled that Rialto was able to show that movie. If you're familiar with the movie, the character Fillmore is actually based off of a real person, Bob Waldmeyer. We have that Fillmore Volkswagen and his land yacht in the Pontiac Museum, the Illinois Route 66 Hall of Fame Museum in Pontiac. So when you see that movie and you see that Volkswagen, you can actually see the inspiration for that in Pontiac. So we're excited to bring that to our visitors. Traveled with Darlie over the last 3 years. We've had several national TV shows filmed. We did Samantha Brown's travel show. We did Travels with Darlie. This summer we've got the Peter Greenberg coming. But Darlie's presented a unique opportunity that she's going to have her 100th episode, and her 100th episode is going to be featured Route 66 and all things Illinois. So we're excited to bring her back. She's going to actually be filming in our communities the 6th through the 10th, and then that show will be available later at the end of the summer, early fall. There's a car caravan coming from California to Illinois. They will do overnight here in Will County and Joliet. It's being co-sponsored by Best Western. So all the nights are being picked up by Best Western, and there'll be entertainment and things happening each night that car caravan is traveling. Next slide. Okay. We also have an individual that's trying to break a world record, or he will break a world record in June. He will be here in Joliet, so we're asking the public to come out and support him and just do a meet and greet with him and encourage him on. He will really be in his last stretch of doing the route. He's going to do it on a bicycle in a certain amount of time. There's another caravan coming through. I mixed these up. This is the Best Western one. The other caravan is the Car Enthusiast caravan, but there's 2 caravans happening. Also, as part of the centennial celebration, there'll be 4 drone shows throughout Illinois, and Joliet will have one of those shows on Friday, June 26th. All 4 shows are the same in different communities, but they will highlight the local community that's hosting the show, as well as Route 66 icons along the way. As I already mentioned, Peter Greenberg will be filming at the end of July. We don't anticipate his program to be available until closer to the end of the year. And then John Pageant, which he did a show about 20 years ago on Route 66 where he filmed all 8 states 20 years ago. Well, he came back last year and refilmed in many of our communities. He filmed here in Joliet, and what he's going to do before his show is released to PBS, he's going to actually take it to different communities and let the public come to see those shows. So the first one will be in Chicago. Second one will be here in Joliet. After Joliet, it will go to Pontiac and then Springfield. And we're showing his new documentary. It's about it's an hour performance. There'll be an hour video. There'll be a meet and greet with the panel and some folks that put the show together. And that's Friday, September 4th. And I believe that's at the old Joliet prison on their grounds. They're going to do it outdoors there. And then there's many more activities, so please go to those websites that I mentioned earlier, but it's all going to culminate with the centennial celebrations at Motorhead. So there'll be a statewide celebration with entertainment, recognizing communities, what they've done for Route 66, and celebrating the route on November 10th and 11th, and that'll be in Springfield. So that's kind of like the final closing of how Illinois is celebrating Route 66. And if I had time, I wanted to show you this slide. I have a minute? Okay. So just want to highlight a couple things regarding who's coming to Will County. And your top visitor markets into the county, obviously, are Chicago, but then second and third would be New York, and then Champaign, Springfield, and Decatur are all kind of lumped in together with our data. And when I talk about visiting the county, we're talking about people that are coming from 50 miles or greater. They've stayed 2 hours or longer in destination, and we have a minimum of 1,000 data points to track that. We track this over the course of the year from January to December. And then also your largest spends are with food and beverage. So anytime we could support our restaurants and our different food and dining establishments, it's really important to do that. But that's where people are spending the most dollars, is your food and beverage and then retail. And last slide there. That's it, unless you have questions.
Do you think we have a few questions here that we're going to entertain? We're going to start off with Member Revis.
I heard you mention benches. There's like 12 benches being installed as part of a grant. That sounds awesome. I love it. But I guess I've been hyper-focused on the cost of benches lately through some other work that we have on the board. Do you know what the price per bench is, or could you get that to me?
I could get that. I could get that too. Part of the benches, all the benches are the same model, and they look like a car. They look like an old car that somebody could actually sit in, but the benches are going to be decorated by different artists. So
They sound
some of those
expensive,
dollars
you
are
know, they
going
sound like
into-
extra, expenses
Yeah.
for a bench. I still think they might be cheaper than the benches we buy at the Forest Preserve, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, I can pull that and get that to you. I think that there are 12 that are part of this grant, but I think he's doing another 6 in different communities. And some communities have more than one bench kind of thing. Some of the benches are being designed by local artists, and then we've got artists throughout the area, Lockport, Dwight, Wilmington, that are decorating benches. So the benches are actually being delivered today and tomorrow. So if you know Steve, he's going to be busy with benches today and tomorrow. And then they're being delivered to the artists to work on, and then they'll be unveiled by the sometime in May. I'll get that to you, Mark.
Member Hickey, then Berkowitz.
Thank you, Madam Executive. Thank you for all the work you do. That was very energetic. And thank you to Member Freeman for everything that she does. I'm kind of new to Heritage Corridor, and so I looked into it a little bit. Are we the largest county that participates?
Of the 6 counties that we have, Will County is the largest county.
Okay, so it's Will, Grundy, LaSalle, Livingston,
Bureau and Putnam.
Putnam. Okay, all right, great. Are there any counties that you know of that are as large as Will that are involved in a conglomerate for their tourism like this?
What do you mean?
I'm just thinking in context of there's some legislation that's moving through.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, certainly. So in Southern Illinois, there are certainly counties that are as the same size as Will County or larger that are part of regional bureaus. There are only about 6 bureaus that represent most of the southern part of Illinois,
Uh-huh.
and those are some of those larger counties.
Okay. I don't think there are counties as large as.
Geographic wise?
Oh, I'm sorry, by population.
Oh, population? No. Geographic wise, yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Member Berkowitz, and then Ortiz.
Thank you, County Executive. So thank you for the presentation. You mentioned that you're installing a special, was it a sign at the Speedway?
It's going to be a tire tower.
A tire tower.
So the tire tower is in a partnership with the Speedway as well as Goodyear Tires. And it'll be over 20 feet tall. It's going to be made up of tires. And then there will be a Route 66 Speedway sign next to it.
So I think that's incredible. I'm very excited to hear that because I think that's actually a treasure that we have here. There's been some development in that area, and I personally would love to see racing come back to this county. I don't know if you have any insight onto whether we can preserve that before it's lost forever, or what is the likelihood of that happening?
So we know that the current race that's happening this summer is a 1-year contract, and we are hopeful that they do renew it. But NASCAR has been a great partner of ours. We worked with them for many years, and we're thrilled that they're back. Some of the original track folks are involved with this race. Beyond this 1 year, I don't have the information on that.
Okay, so.
We're hopeful. We're hopeful.
And.
But I know Chicago's heavily trying to bring them back too.
Well, I think we have some unique features here, and I really hope that the powers behind it can pull this together.
Yeah, so when the races were happening here in the Will County, Joliet area, we actually had higher attendance at the races than they did when they were the street races in Joliet. There were more people that were attending the races in person. So we're hopeful that they continue to look at our area to bring those races back.
And are you involved with the races that will be coming in the future, involved in any of the?
So we're working with the marketing crew and the director over there on trying to advance trying to reach different markets for them. We're partnering with them on some trade shows that we're going to, doing some digital ticket sale type advertising for them.
Well, as a county board member, I've seen very little come through information about it. Wasn't really aware of those things happening. So if you could mention to them, keep us in the loop and whatever we can, do to participate and support. I think all of us would love to do that.
I will send you some more information, and then they're going to be doing kind of like a 100-day kickoff, 100 days before their event. They're going to unveil the Tire Tower, talk about the events that are happening and how they're not branding, but co-celebrating America 250 during that weekend race, because it's around July 4th, obviously. So yeah, I will send more information either through Micah or directly to county staff to distribute it.
Absolutely. Thank you. We'd love to support them.
Okay, we're going to wrap up with two more comments or questions. Member Ortiz and Member Freeman. We'll let you close. Member Ortiz.
Thank you, Madam Executive. Just a quick question since the benches were mentioned. Are your benches ADA compliant?
I will have to look into that. I'm assuming that they are, but I don't know. I didn't look at that contract. That's all being done through
Okay.
Steve over at
When you come
Lockport.
back with the price tag, make sure you come back with that answer too,
Okay.
please. Thank you so much.
Member Freeman.
Thank you, Bob, for coming. I've been trying to get this to happen for a while. I get questions, but you're so much better at answering them. Regarding the baseball game that's going to be happening in Joliet, I do think that tickets have opened up for sale. Am I correct?
So tickets are for sale. VIP tickets have been sold out. There's just general admission tickets available at this point.
And there are benches and yard space.
Mm-hmm.
And it is between the Slammers and.
So the Joliet Slammers are playing the Gateway Grizzlies. Gateway Grizzlies are down in St. Louis, and what's between Joliet and the Gateway Grizzlies, but Route 66. So we're excited that this is the exhibition game that's been put together.
And what kind of uniforms are they wearing? Because I found this interesting.
So the talk is that they're going to recreate a vintage uniform, and I've not seen that, but that's all being done by the Joliet Area Historical Museum. So the talk was that they would do some sort of vintage uniform, at least for our Joliet Slammers. I'm not sure what the Gateway Grizzlies are wearing. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. And to be clear, they're playing at the old prison.
They're playing at the old Joliet prison, and so they're gonna recreate the ball field that was there on site at the prison location. The ball field's being paid for out of the Route 66 grant as well, but that will be done. That would be done by the end of April, because that's coming up right around the corner.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Appreciate your
Bob.
time. Anytime, let me know.
Just FYI, Bob did provide us with information. He did not touch on the tourism ambassador certificate program, but the information in the barcode is there. And you have a wonderful map and it's very detailed. You should check it out. That's all. Thanks.
Thank you. Going to move on to Land Use and Development Committee. Chair Pretzel.
Thank you, Madam Executive. Just making sure there's no opening of a public hearing. First up on today's land use agenda, Resolution 26-062, Land Resource Management Plan Update. I actually have a request from staff to remove this from today's agenda and postpone until the May meeting when we will be ready. I'd like to make that motion.
Motion by Pretzel, seconded by Revison. In discussion. I think we need a clean roll call. I don't remember the last one, but Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Richmond, Williams, Dean Schlottman. I'm sorry, Ogala. Pretzel.
Yes.
Butler. Newquist. Balich.
Yes.
Oxley.
Yes.
Brooks.
Yes.
Winfrey. Bullock. Logan. Freeman. Revis. Mitchell. Ortiz. Berkowitz. Hickey. Costa. Trainier. Van Dyne.
20 in the affirmative, the motion carries. Oh, I'm sorry, 19 in the affirmative, the motion carries.
Right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, 20 in the affirmative, motion carries.
Number 2, ORD 26-063 ZC 25112, special use permit for a commercial solar energy facility in Will Township at 5949 West Eagle Lake Road, Peatone, Illinois, County Board District Number 2. PZC recommended denial with a vote of 2-2, and Land Use and Development approved 5-1 with 2 conditions, and I so move.
Motion by Pretzel, seconded by Newquist. Any discussion?
Yes.
Member Oxley?
Yes, thank you. Is the developer here? I have a question of what percentage of local union labor will be used on these projects?
We can let we can have staff come up and answer, and I don't know if they'll be able to answer that, if they're matter and appropriate, but we don't let the applicant, but the staff is here.
I'd like to make a motion to amend the rules to allow the developer to speak on this.
There's a motion by, hold on a second, Miss. Go ahead, Kevin.
So you certainly can do that, but I will say that it's outside the public hearing of evidence. It's not a factor you should consider in your decision.
We don't have a public hearing.
They had a public hearing already.
We're not having it here, though.
No.
Just a question. I have a motion on the floor.
Sure. Yep.
Just giving you advice. So we have a motion by Oxley to allow the applicant to come forward. We have I heard a second by Ogala. Madam Clerk, or, no, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Richmond,
We are voting on the motion to allow the applicant to come forward.
Williams, Ogala,
Yes.
Pretzel,
Yes.
Butler, Newquist, Balich,
Yes.
Oxley,
Yes.
Brooks, Winfrey, Bullock, Logan, Freeman, Revis, Ortiz, Berkowitz, Hickey, Costa, Trainier, Van Dyne.
19, the affirmative, the motion carries. Come up, sir. Thank you. Mr. Oxley, you're going to re-ask your question to him?
Certainly. Thank you.
And please state your name for the record.
Can you hear me? Chad Shabazzi, we're here for the applicant. Happy to answer any questions you have, sir.
Yes, the question is what percentage of local labor will be used on this project?
I don't
County.
have that answer, but I do know that we try to use as much local labor as we can on these projects. And most of our subcontractors are based here in Northern Illinois. So that's the information I have right now.
Okay, because it says, this thing says you have a tri-trade project labor agreement. I'm just trying to figure out.
That's not this case. Just so you know, that's for.
That's fine, I'm sorry. I just wanted to ask that
Sure.
question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Member Richmond.
Thank you very much. So I happen to be on the phone, and this is in regards to these solar projects just in general, but it's not specific to this.
So he
gentleman,
can, we done.
can sit down.
Does anyone else have any questions for this gentleman? All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
And I just-
Happy to answer any other questions.
So, thank you. So we can just go back to discussion. I'm sorry. Go ahead, leader.
So unfortunately, I had a conversation with a friend of mine whose friend's house got blown up in the tornado, one of 37 people. I also heard some folks have died out there, but I mean, this is something with these solar facilities is the devastation that a tornado can do to these things. And I've heard that there's some pictures out there of, and I think it was in Kankakee County, but it still could be impactful into our lands. And I'd like to know more from land uses. You know, what's the impact going to be if one of these, gets destroyed here in a, E4 or E5 or something like that? So I think it's something that we need to really start looking at. So that's all I got. Thank you.
Member Ogala.
Thank you. I just was wondering, do we have any decision from our judge regarding the solar lawsuits? Have we received a decision yet?
There's been no decision from Judge Braun. There was a third district case, which we will discuss.
Thank you.
These aren't even on the agenda yet.
No.
So we have a motion and a member, or Chair Pretzel, do you have another comment or that just, go ahead.
Well, so, I mean, I understand, the reason I think Member Oxley brings this up is we had a letter in our mailbox today from Local 174 Carpenters Union on a different case, talking about local unions getting involved in these projects. So I'll just say, for me, I don't love these solar projects when we have people from the community coming and saying, I don't want this. So what I do love about these is that it can create local jobs. And I've gotten calls from other unions saying, we really want these projects. It's good work for our company. So I just wish that we could condition these requests somehow to say that they have to use local unions to do the work. So I don't know if with the state statute, if we can even request that. I mean, we can always request it, right? But can we condition it? Are we allowed to say, you won't get my support if you don't use local union workers?
So given that we have pending litigation, I don't want to discuss the outcome of what the Grundy County case was in open session. We will discuss that. But, if you look at the state law, it has given very specific conditions about what you can consider. And I have not seen that condition as one of them.
Yeah, okay.
Member Berkowitz and then Freeman, and then I'll circle back.
My question is best answered by the developer, but he sat down.
Well, because
before-
I asked if anyone had any questions for the
Well-
development. Good. Come on, he's fine. He's coming back up.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sure. Just want to answer a question that Mr. Pretzel had. There actually, in the new bill that just passed, there is a requirement to have a labor agreement with unions, and pretty much all the work that we do on these sites are union labor. Just want to mention that on our projects. So, including this project.
Will County locals?
Yes. Yeah. So
When possible?
Yes, exactly. And there's a new requirement that any project, I believe it's over 3 megawatt, which this one is, that's getting a renewable energy contract from the state will have to have a tri-party agreement. So that's part of the new Climate and
Thank you.
Reliable Affordability Act.
Before you answer, I send it back to Member Berkowitz. Mr. Meyer would like to add something.
Yeah, I just want to say that new bill does not go in effect till June 1st, and it's not retroactive. So that piece was not previously in the current solar bill, the labor agreement.
Yeah.
But this project will be subject to that because it won't be starting until after June 1st and with the renewable energy contract that comes after June 1st, just so.
Sure,
Yeah,
we
sure.
can talk about it. I just want to
Sure.
let everyone know that it's not currently part of the existing law.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So-
Thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Yes.
Because
Sure.
it's a selling point. Right?
Absolutely.
Thank you. So before I ask my question, Kevin, in respect to your point that it doesn't necessarily apply to this project, since you are willing to proceed according to the new legislation, could we then just add it as a condition that it's understood that they will be hiring local union according to the legislation? We can add that as a condition.
It would be hard to enforce because you're going to approve it before the bill goes into effect.
As a condition, though, it is part of the approval. And then I believe at the end of the day, it's a good faith relationship between them and us. And having that condition added would also document it.
It would be a very specific question, and I take the gentleman at his word, and it is a good faith effort. My point is that currently you do not have that legal authority to condition that. So if they do it or they don't, now it would start after January 1st. That's a good argument for us to make. But right now, the law says you can condition these things: setbacks, vegetation screening. A project labor agreement is not one of those things.
I'm surprised.
So
It's part of what the Illinois Shines program for the community solar. So that's maybe it starts after June 1st. So if you receive a contract, a renewable energy credit contract, REC contract, then you have to abide by the tri-party agreement. So we'd be willing to
sure, and
agree to that. Sure.
again,
Sure.
we're not accusing him of, I'm just saying you have limits in your authority. That creates another can of worms, but I'm sure they're going to abide by what they're telling you here.
Okay, great. Well, we'll move forward then. My question was regarding the labor and the construction of the project. So your agreement with the labor unions for, you said, was it 3,000?
The new rule is any project that's over 3 megawatts, which this project is, if you want to receive a renewable energy contract through the state's program, which is called Illinois Shines for the community solar program, then you have to enter into a tri-party agreement for labor. And we already use almost all of our labor for these projects as union labor.
Yes. And so, so the main requirement for union hours will be the actual construction and installation of the panels, correct?
Correct.
And then at some point in time, when that phase is finished and the solar facility is operational, doesn't that workload cease to
Well-
exist and decrease significantly?
The work does decrease. There's still some operations and maintenance work that we have to do. And for that, we still use prevailing wage labor.
But at that point in time, is it just a minimal amount of the original labor?
Correct.
Correct. Okay.
Yes.
So knowing that we've got that large influx of, jobs and opportunity, what is the window of time that actually exists?
For a 5 megawatt project, these are smaller projects in the big,
Yeah.
here, we're talking 40 acres, usually 6 to 9 months.
6 to 9 months.
Correct.
So that gives us 6 to 9 months of a, great employment opportunity, and then it kind of phases out with that exception of that little minimal amount of maintenance that's required. That's something I think everyone needs to understand about.
Do you have specific questions from regarding this project? You're doing philosophical,
Okay,
so
I did have a question, and you were very, very clear with your answer, and I appreciate that because at some point in time, we want to be able to understand the cycles of, work that's available. So I appreciate your
Thank you.
cooperativeness and your sincerity.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Member Freeman?
Thank you. So, I actually drove through Kankakee and I went past some of their very large solar farms after the tornado. And I can tell you that the houses across the street were in much worse damage than the solar panels that were on the ground. But also I would like to ask for our county staff to please send out the PowerPoint presentation that was provided at UCCI regarding the new state laws around solar, because it was very informative. And I know that I've shared it with making sure my caucus, but I think the other side of the aisle should have it as well. Thank you.
Member Gale?
Thank you. So a lot of the solar that's been built already has been in my area. And I've gone to these sites and I've spoken with a lot of the guys who are working it. They are union contractors that we are hiring to build these. So I've seen that. I've not been to one that didn't have that. I think you need that skill set to do this type of job. I mean, you might have other people putting up a fence, possibly whatever, but that's different than the actual hard work to put these, to install these, rolling all the wiring and everything. They've been union that I've seen. I haven't found one situation that hasn't. And I will send to our chief of staff pictures that I have of a solar facility that was completely destroyed by the tornado. So while maybe you've driven around, maybe that particular area wasn't hit as bad as others, But this one was completely destroyed. My friend's out there working, and he had said he wasn't expecting when he went through the very first day when they were out there, that the people who were out there looking at the site, they were wearing hazmat suits. So don't think that just because you didn't see something happen doesn't mean it hasn't happened. And I will send the pictures to our chief of staff to share.
Thank you. All right, I don't see any more comments. I'm going to give it to Kevin real quick.
Just as always, we admonish before votes, you're limited to the record within the public hearing. So anything that you've gained outside of that is not considered evidence.
All right, so we have a motion and we have a second, right? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Richmond. Richmond? Oh, sorry. Williams? Ogella? Pretzel?
Yes.
Butler? Newquist? Balich?
No.
Oxley?
I have to abstain, I have a conflict.
Brooks?
Yeah.
Winfrey? Bullock? Logan? Freeman? Revis? Ortiz? Berkowitz? Hickey? Costa? Trainier? Van Dyne?
14 in the affirmative, the motion carries.
Number 3 on today's agenda, Resolution 26-064. Second extension 26001, third extension for zoning case ZC 22066. Special use permit for a solar farm facility with 15 conditions on vacant property on West Kennedy Road, Peatone, Illinois County Board District Number 2. Land Use and Development approved this 6-0, and I so move.
Motion by Pretzel, seconded by Revis. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Richmond? Williams? Ogella? Pretzel?
Yes.
Butler? No. Newquist? Balich?
Yes.
Oxley?
I have to abstain, I have a conflict.
Brooks?
Yeah.
Winfrey? Bullock? Logan? Freeman? Revis? Ortiz? Berkowitz? Hickey? Costa? Trainier? Van Dyne?
You my lawyer? You my lawyer?
18 in the affirmative, the motion carries.
Number 4, Resolution 26-065, a second extension for zoning case ZC 23027. Special use permit for construction, sales, and services with 4 conditions, 11233 West Kennedy Road, Peatone, Illinois County Board District Number 2. Land use was 5-1 approving, and I so move.
Motion by Pretzel,
Second, Oxley.
second by Oxley. Is there discussion? Previous roll call by Ogala, seconded by Winfrey. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Number 5,
Oh,
Resolution.
Hold on, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I assumed that if you voted no, that you are fine, you would, okay. Very good.
Resolution 26-066, a first extension for zoning case ZC 23125, special use permit for a commercial solar energy facility with 3 conditions in Florence Township at the vacant property at southeast corner of State Route 53 and South 216th Avenue, Wilmington, Illinois County Board District Number 1. Land use and development approved 6-0, and I so move.
Motion by Pretzel, seconded by Costa. Any discussion? Previous roll call by Ogala, seconded by Brooks. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Number 6, Resolution 26-067, a second extension for zoning case ZC 23038, special use permit for a commercial solar energy facility with 4 conditions in Joliet Township. Vacant property at southwest corner of Cherry Hill Road and US 52 in Joliet, County Board District Number 6. Land use and development approved 6-0, and I so move.
Motion by Pretzel, seconded by Costa. Discussion? Previous roll by Ogala, seconded by Berkowitz. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Number 7, Resolution 26-068, a second extension for zoning case ZC 23037, special use permit for a commercial solar energy facility with 3 conditions. Vacant property located northwest corner of Cherry Hill Road and West Schweitzer Road, Joliet, County Board District Number 6. Land use was 6-0, and I so move.
Motion by Pretzel, seconded by Freeman. Is there any discussion? Previous roll call by Winfrey, seconded by Brooks. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Number 8, Resolution 26-069, first extension for zoning case ZC 23110. Special use permit for a commercial solar energy facility with 4 conditions in Monee Township. Vacant property located on the north side of Drolley Road, west of I-57, County Board District Number 3. Land Use and Development Committee approved 6-0, and I so move.
Motion by Pretzel, seconded by Costa. Any discussion? Previous roll call by Freeman, seconded by Trenier. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Number 9, Resolution 26-070, first extension for zoning case ZC 23111, special use permit for a commercial solar energy facility with 3 conditions in Monee Township at the vacant property located southeast of the intersection of South Ridgeland Avenue and West Raleigh Road, Monee, Illinois, County Board District Number 3. Land Use and Development Committee approved 6-0, and I so move.
Motion by Pretzel, seconded by Freeman. Any discussion? Previous by Ogala, seconded by Trenier. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Next, Land Use and Development Committee meeting is scheduled for April 2nd, 2026. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to Finance Committee, Chair Newquist.
Good morning, everybody. The first order of business is the consent agenda, which consists of 4 items. A, Resolution 26-071, fiscal year 25 year-end budget transfers. B, Resolution 26-072, appropriating funds in the circuit court's budget. C, Resolution 26-073, trustee resolutions, which are basically the sales, tax sales. D, Resolution 26-074, appropriation of unexpended funds for the Illinois Department of Human Services, and I so move.
Motion by Newquist, seconded by Winfrey. Sorry, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Number 2, we just have a number of monthly finance reports to be placed on file, and I so move.
Motion by Newquist, seconded by Winfrey. Any discussion? Previous roll call by. Okay, well, it's a. So I'm sorry, motion by Newquist, seconded by Winfrey. There's no discussion. Is there a previous? Previous by Brooks, thank you. Seconded by Williams. All in favor? Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I have. Our next Finance Committee meeting is scheduled for April 7th. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to Public Works and Transportation, Chair Trenier.
Good morning, Madam Executive. Unless someone wants something removed, and they certainly haven't asked me up until this point, we're going to move forward with the consent agenda. Item A, granting access for ingress and egress on Manhattan Monee Road in County Board District 3. Item B, confirming award of contract to Northern Contracting, led on February 18th to countywide guardrail maintenance, all county board districts. Item C, improvement by county under the Illinois Highway Code for countywide guardrail maintenance using motor fuel tax funds, all county board districts. Letter D, confirming award of contract to Deconstruction, led on February 18th, Sheer Road over Forked Creek in Green Garden Township, County Boards Districts 2 and 3. Letter E, authorizing approval of professional services agreement for right-of-way acquisition services with Hampton, Lenzini, and Renwick, Inc. for several parcels of property for Weber Road from Airport Road to 135th Street, County Board District 9. Letter F, authorizing approval of professional services agreement for right-of-way acquisition services with Triple D Valuation Services, Inc. for several parcels of property for Gauger Road from Spencer to Farrow Drive, County Board District 2 and 5. Letter G, authorizing approval of professional services agreement for right-of-way acquisition services with Hampton, Lenzini, and Renwick for several parcels of property for Gauger Road from Spencer Road to Farrow Drive, County Board District 2 and 5. Letter H, that's a new one, H, authorizing approval of professional services agreement for right-of-way acquisition services with Santa Cruz Land Acquisitions for several parcels of property for Gauger Road from Spencer Road to Farrow Drive, County Board Districts 2 and 5. Letter I, authorizing agreement between the County of Will and BP Midwest Product Pipelines Holdings, LLC, for reimbursement for relocating facilities for the improvements of Francis Road from Gauger Road to Interstate 80, County Board District 5. And lastly, letter J, authorizing an agreement with Northern Builders for improvements on Laraway Road from Cherry Hill Road to Nelson Road, County Board District 2. And I so move.
Motion by Trinier, seconded by Freeman. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Just two other issues that were on our committee. One item that was removed, and that had to do with the state of Illinois talking to us about some cameras they wanted to put on some of our county roads, state police. That was removed from the agenda. And then we did discuss with the undersheriff the possibility of having decimal monitors, I believe that's what they were called, ready for next year's budget, but certainly some sample ones being purchased this year so that we could tackle some of the noise issues in certain parts of the county. And he was very agreeable, so that will be moving forward. Our next meeting will be April 7th. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to public health, and Mr. Brooks, do you have something? Okay.
Madam Executive, Chairman Trinier said the camera issue was removed from her agenda. Does that mean it goes back to the committee? What
No,
exactly is
no,
that?
they've withdrawn. I'm sorry. They've withdrawn their request.
Thank you very much.
I should have been more clear. Thank you.
Thank you.
For asking. I like to clarify.
Thank you for clarifying. Thank you, madam.
Do you have a question as well? Okay, no, sorry, you just prepared for, okay. We're moving on to public health and safety. Chair Butler.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have nothing to move forward. Our next meeting is scheduled for April 2nd.
All right, very good. Legislative Committee, Chair Winfrey.
Thank you, Madam Executive. The Legislative Committee has one resolution this morning. It is 26085, Local Health Protection Grant Increase, and I so move.
Motion by Winfrey, seconded by O'Gala. Any discussion? Member Ortiz.
Thank you, Madam Executive. I just wanted to say that I really appreciated seeing this resolution come forward out of the Legislative Committee. Last year, I introduced a similar piece of legislation because investing in our local public health is essential for our community's well-being. So happy to see this continue, happy to see us advocating as a board together for this critical funding, and I will be a yes vote.
Thank you. Right. So we have a motion and a second. Is there a previous roll call? Previous by Trinier, seconded by Oxley. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. The Legislative Committee will meet again on April 7th.
Thank you. Moving on to Capital Improvements and IT Committee, Chair Freeman.
Thank you, Madam Executive. We are hopefully going to be having our AI, oh goodness, I just present policy. Thank you. I was thinking procedures. I think all the P's in the world. Procedures and policies in place, hopefully within the next 2 or 3 months. And we are still working on our 5-year plan, and we have nothing to bring forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Landfill Committee, Chair Oxley.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We're moving forward with increasing the capacity of the gas plant, and other than that, we're good. Thank you.
Your next meeting is, oh, sorry, I gotta help you out there. Sorry.
The next meeting has been canceled for April.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to Executive Committee, Speaker Van Dyne.
Thank you, Madam Executive. We do have a number of items on our consent agenda. Before we get started, does any board member want to remove any item from the consent agenda? Seeing none, thank you. Letter A, Resolution 26086, authorizing the county executive to execute an IGA agreement with the city of Joliet to provide access to the countywide radio system. B, ordinance authorizing a joint application for boundary agreements to the Diamond Enterprise Zone and add a new unity of government to the Diamond Enterprise Zone. C, authorizing the Will County to execute an intergovernmental cooperation agreement between the Village of Diamond and the County of Will for the expansion of the Diamond Enterprise Zone and to add a new unit of government to the Diamond Enterprise Zone. Intergovernmental agreement with the City of Aurora to utilize portions of the county's capacity allotment for electronics recycle. And then we have a number of ordinances, Chapter 111, Business Taxation, 112, Stun Events, 113, Peddlers, Solicitors, and Merchants, whatever that is. Chapter 114, Food Establishments Sanitation, 115, Cable Television, 116, Raffle and Poker Run Regulations, 117, Bid Contractors, and 118, Bathhouses and Massage Parlors. And I would like to make a motion for approval.
Motion by Van Dyne, seconded by Winfrey. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Our next executive committee meeting is scheduled for April 9th, 2026. Thank you.
Thank you.
We do have a resolution 26-098, appointments by the county executive, approving the county executive appointments to the Workforce Investment Board of Will County, and I will make that motion.
Motion by Van Dyne, seconded by Winfrey. Previous roll call by Newquist. Second by Freeman. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We're moving on to public comment relevant to the matters under the jurisdiction of the county. If there are any comments relevant to matters under the jurisdiction of the county on the agenda or not, you're more than welcome to come up. Yeah.
Good morning. I'm Terry Kearns, Mayor for the Village of Diamond. And I'd just like to thank everyone here today for your continued support for our enterprise zone. We really appreciate it. So thank you so much.
Well, moving on to comments by the county board members. Remind you of 3 minutes. If you can, you'll press your button and I will get you in order. We're going to start off with Steve Valich, who's going to wish us all a happy St. Joseph Day, but I beat you to it.
You're giving me a hard time. All right.
Yeah.
No, I just got a complaint and a problem. About 2.5 years ago, my email was hacked by Jackie Tenier by hacking into Judy Ogala's iPad. And she wrote in judyogala.com, at willcounty.com. So that means she did it on purpose. And if I did that, they would have locked me up in jail for sure. And then I would have to get bonded out and the whole bit. So nothing happened for 2.5 years. She finally got convicted. And to me, I feel violated because my email went to God knows who. And I don't think that was right. And then now that she's convicted, I think that she should resign from the county board. And I don't think we have rules that say it because it's not a felony, it's just a misdemeanor. But that misdemeanor, she probably won't get she'll probably get a tiny little fine or a slap on the hand and say, don't do it again. But that's okay. But that misdemeanor is a serious misdemeanor. She could get 6 months in jail. But that ain't going to happen, I don't think.
Yeah.
But I just want to bring it out that I'm still very upset about it. I did 2 press conferences about it. And I am frustrated because I was violated. And it seems like no one cares that I was violated.
Right. So and
So
Steve,
that's the end of
I'm struggling
God
here whether
bless
this is-
everybody in
all
the
right.
room.
Well, we do have rules of decorum and regarding, to how you speak and talking about other members and this. So again, I get it. It's a fine line. But if this is the tone you want to set here, that's fine. That's up to you. All right, that's fine. That's fine. I'm like you said, if this is the tone you want to have here, that's absolutely fine. Member Berkowitz, or I'm sorry, Member Brooks. Sorry.
Madam Chair, my colleague Winfrey and I represent District 6, which is the old Silver Cross Hospital facility. And sitting on Capital Improvement Committee, I have watched the Copperfield property be redeveloped. And I'm just so very happy and proud. And I hope everybody got the emails about the VA Center that's moving in ribbon cutting April 1st. I hope you can be there. As I stated, it's in my district. I have a tollway when you come in my district, but I'll lift it on April 1st if everybody will come in and help us celebrate the VAC. We're very proud of that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Member Ogala.
Thank you. I just want to say that I really like the presentation from Lori from LEAP HR. I think her enthusiasm is fabulous. I hope that she can help bring some good ideas to the board. So I was very positive with that. I appreciated the presentation by Robert Navarro for the Route 66 celebration. And I think that while we are able to go ahead and celebrate the Route 66 celebration, we should, as a board, celebrate the 250th anniversary of America. I don't know why we didn't have a resolution on that. It doesn't make sense to me, but I think it's something that we should do. Earlier this month, myself and Frankie Pretzel brought forward for a resolution for a moratorium on data centers. That was not taken up. We do not have any kind of ordinance in place for data centers. So I think we should have a moratorium on them until we have an ordinance. I spoke with land use staff. They don't have a lot of information about it. We don't know a lot of details about it. I know there's a proposed one possibly for out my way in County Board District 2. And we don't have any information. So we need information before we could go ahead and do that. And then finally, I'm looking for a clarification here. And when we do the consent agenda, because it's a consent agenda, everyone in the committee voted yes. If nobody calls it to say, hey, I'd like 4 items pulled off or whatever, then it's just assumed that the consent agenda is a yes vote and we move on. Yes?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So then my question becomes, when we went into the consent agenda, first consent agenda, we did not have a clean roll call. There was a no vote and an abstain. So then when we go to the next item that's not a consent agenda, does that bring the yes votes from all the consent agendas as a clean roll, or do we have to have a clean roll?
The way I took it is that everyone intended to be a yes on those things.
For the consent agendas?
And then as we went forward, because the consent agendas had gone forward, if somebody certainly wants their vote changed on that, I'm happy to deal with that as they come. I took that as you all intended to vote yes for the non-consent agenda.
I just wanted to clarify that because I wasn't sure how that,
And we'll work with the clerk's office to make sure that we now break that out just so we don't have the issue again. I understand the confusion.
yeah, thank you so much.
Member Trenier.
Thank you, Madam Executive. I am going to address the comments that were directed about me today. First off, the email that was shared, that charge was dismissed. It was shared by accident and it was dismissed. So Mr. Balich can continue to be angry and continue to malign me at every meeting if that floats his boat. But the voters in my district are returning me to the county board, at least as a candidate for the November election. And as far as the conviction of actually accessing Mrs. Ogala's email, I was testing that because I had heard a rumor that we all had the same email password. Ms. Ogala was very aware of that. She knew it and did nothing to change it. And once I learned of this issue, I immediately contacted the county executive's office and the IT department. I consider what I did being a whistleblower. The fact that I might get punished for that, well, I won't be the first whistleblower in this country to be punished. Probably not the last. But The fact that Ms. Ogala, our speaker at the time, was aware of this.
Yeah, yeah, okay, and okay, guys, I just said it. I mean, I was just told that he has a right to speak in public comment, but when another person, I don't,
Speak, but let's limit it to just board members. Let's not be.
Nope, that's not.
they are board, but I asked the same thing and I was told by the same person who's now objecting it that he has a right to speak in public comment. Make up your mind, folks. I always said, if this is a decorum and this is how you want to run and conduct your last 3 minutes, this is up to you. But I didn't like that. I don't like this. And again, these are board members. These are board members. This was your decision to allow it. And the same person who's getting talked about now spoke up and say he can talk. So make up your mind here. Please finish.
May I continue? Thank you. This was clearly a political attack by the Republicans, and the Democrats jumped on board. That's okay. That's fine. But I was a whistleblower. I contacted the appropriate officials. And once I did that, they immediately started giving everybody a unique password. Would that have happened had I not called and said something? No, it didn't happen until I called. So thank you very much.
I am going to ask the leadership here to at least have a conversation when this is done about the direction of county board comment when moving forward. So, I mean, if we have to narrow it down and say we can only do A, B, C, D, I am okay with that. I hate to do that, but I'm going to let leadership deal with that moving forward, because I can't have one person say something and say, let them speak, and the other person reply to it and say, no, now you can't say it. It doesn't work that way, folks. It doesn't work that way. So, Member Berkowitz, we're going to hope you're going to circle this back.
I thought another member was in front of me. I just saw the buttons.
I
get
just
hit.
looked at you, sorry.
Okay,
You're
yeah,
right,
and I
you are
want
right.
to
But
make
if you
sure I go in the right order.
don't
so
worry, you're fine. They're all going to get 3 minutes. This one's
thank you.
equal. Everyone
I'll-
gets
I'll
3
go
minutes here,
in
yeah.
Order though. I
Okay,
don't want-
you're up.
Oh, but
You're
I
up.
I was,
Just talk.
okay.
You're fine.
All right.
Everyone
So,
gets the same 3 minutes.
with the item on the agenda regarding the strategic plan, I thought that this was a very appropriate time for me to share my comments. The issue we have here does very much involve the integrity and the fiber of the county board. And this issue of behavior when it comes to each of us as an elected official, what we spend a lot of time doing, instead of, focusing on lowering taxes, providing better public safety, better roads and infrastructure, we have all these incidents that are distracting from our goal of serving our constituents and our own families and each other, because I sit on this county board to represent every one of you in this room, and I take it very seriously. We are all responsible to each other. Trust in our elected officials is critical, and trust extends to all members of our team. This includes the staff at the county. It includes all elected officials, and it includes fellow county board members. The ability for our constituents to trust in their elected officials is also critical. This trust has been broken. This has created a fracture in our reputation as servants to the community. And I feel a personal strain in respect to that, because I work really hard to do what I promised my constituents and the residents in this county, what I promised them I would do. But this has been fractured. The public now views government officials as above the law. And this has to be resolved. We have to work hard to overcome this. There are many good people in government. And what's playing out today can't be ignored. We can't continue to sit in this room and attack each other. I've sat in this room and I've been called a racist. I've been called a white person, and I'm not a white person. What is a white person?
You're at 3 minutes. I
No.
need to wrap up.
I'd like to ask for more time. I have a 3-minute limit.
Yes.
It's our
3 minutes.
one
Can you
opportunity
please
to talk.
Just, can you please wrap up? It's, you have 3 minutes. We're trying again to follow the rules that you set in place.
Fine, I'll wrap up.
Thank
but
you.
Again, I didn't support this during county board rules, and I'm going to just pursue that we change these policies. So we have a job to do here, and we have to be on our best behavior. And I'm challenging everyone in this room to take that to heart, make it your top priority. And if you've made a mistake, accept the consequences, because our only goal here is to serve our constituents with integrity and honesty.
Thank you. Member Revis.
Thank you, Madam Executive. In the spirit of Election Day earlier this week, I want to reiterate that the people of Will County demand honesty, accountability, and confidence in the officials who serve them. In recent weeks, a member of this board was convicted on 2 counts of computer tampering for signing into a fellow board member's email account without permission. This is a Class B misdemeanor. This has caused significant damage to our credibility of this board. I'm seriously concerned it will negatively impact our ability to work together. And if this type of behavior goes unaddressed, we have major problems. So I am calling for Ms. Jackie Trainier to resign immediately. Thank you.
Okay, so before we go on, I'm going to read this to you, and I'm going to, again, this is your rules that you have voted on. I mean, again, this is, you guys aren't like some congressional person who everyone's watching and fight. I get it. I get it. We all think that this is our time to shine. But here are your rules that you have voted on. Members should observe the following rules of decorum. 1, address themselves solely and directly to the county executive, their chair. They may not address other members, individuals in the gallery, or persons who might be observing through the media. 2, speak when recognized by the county executive, the chair during the county board meetings, or by the committee chair at the regular meetings. 3, avoid characterizing another member's personal intent or motives and avoid discussing personalities. 4, refrain from speaking disrespectfully to the speaker, other members, or the county executive. 5, refrain from using profane or vulgar language. I didn't make these up. You folks did. You voted on them. So if you can't comply, then maybe you need to think about why you are sitting in this seat. Member Newquist.
Thank you. I just want to give a shout out to one of my residents and a friend of mine, Marie Ifolo. Marie turns 100 today. She is still very active in the community. She has led a fascinating life. She actually worked for the State Department and taught school in occupied Japan immediately following the Second World War to service members' children. She then did the same in Italy. She is still very active. She's on Friends of the Library. She still votes. And I just wanted to say happy birthday, Marie, for the record. Thank you.
There you go. 102 or 100? 100. Oh.
Sure, not to take them out the photo.
Yeah, right. But any of the leadership would like to speak? All right. Leader Williams, then Leader Richmond.
Thank you. One of the reasons that I wanted us to have a strategic plan is so that we could possibly come together as a board. And as we can see today, it is still very much needed. So I'm glad we're moving forward with that. I do think that, as you said, as the executive said, we did develop those rules and we should follow our own rules. Right now, the behavior that I'm seeing is behavior that we would not accept from children. So we are responsible for our own behavior. If we don't like the things that are going on the board, then we are the board, then it is up to us to change that circumstance. We are the adults here supposedly. I also, to end up, I just want to say it is Women's History Month. Being a woman, I'm very happy about that. And I think we have a lot of very, very nice and smart and really, really forward-moving women on this board. And I'd like to see us come together to do better as women, be an example for people, because right now I don't think we've been an example for too many people. People are looking at this board and wondering just exactly what's going on. I'm on the board and I'm wondering the same thing. So happy Women's History Month for all us ladies. And thank you guys for at least agreeing to the strategic plan. Now let's make it a success. Thank you.
Leader Richmond.
Great, thank you. Herb, I know the side streets over in your town, so I won't need that toll pass, but I will make sure I attend that VAC thing, so. Oh, thank you very much, thank you very much. You know, we've just gone through election season, and the trust in government is, at all levels, has been dwindling for many years. And I think, you know, this is the time that, you know, we need to all up our game, not only as citizens of this country, as representatives of our districts, as well as our county. I think it's time that we hold everybody accountable, hold them accountable for not only their actions, but their behaviors. And in situations like what we have right now is there has to be some form of discussion and or I know it's gone through the court systems and that, and you know, the judicial system has spoken, but I think the citizens also deserve a voice, and this board deserves a voice, and how we treat each other and how we actually, I don't say punish somebody, but we've got to bring ourselves to a higher level or a higher standard. I've been in the IT world my whole career, and passwords were always something that was unique to every individual and were never, ever given out just as a blanket one right up front. There's a way to be a whistleblower. It's what you do is you go down to your IT department and you ask them for specific information. You don't go in as a rogue agent and just start, pounding away on a keyboard. I mean, I've worked in Fortune 400 companies, and you would never consider even doing anything like that. I think what we need to do is up our game here, not only as a county board. I don't care if you're a D or an R. You need to bring your best behavior into this room, represent our citizens, but also, too, is let's hold each other accountable for what we're doing and our actions that we take. And if you think that there's something that you need to be a whistleblower on, bring it to the right entity and make sure that that discussion is had. I mean, I've got a whole statement here. We need to operate in good faith. I don't care if you're a Democrat or you're a Republican, but if you're found guilty of doing something that's, been handled by a judicial system, there needs to be repercussions, and there needs to be some kind of hold people accountable. The community thinks that government, there's two levels of discipline for them and for others. And we need to actually address this as a county board. And one of the things that we can do as a county board is actually censor somebody. And, maybe that is something that we need to consider because I want to see us all elevate our game, make ourselves better as representatives of our district in that. And I hope that everybody can agree with me on the statements that I'm making. I'm not trying to lecture anybody. All I'm trying to do is tell you what I've heard when I'm out there talking to residents and citizens and that. They're looking for a good place to live, a good place to raise their family. Illinois, we've got, I talk to people all over the country. We've become the laughing stock of things. And I'd like to see us figure out a way to resolve this. Jennifer, thank you for giving me the 3 minutes, and I'm more than happy to talk to anybody on how we can make this a better place to not only work, but represent our citizens. So thank you.
Thank you. Speaker Van Duyn.
Thank you again, Madam Executive. This topic was not going to be part of my comments, but I feel there is a need. The leadership has had many conversations on trying to get our caucus members to use the proper decorum. And of course, as we've noticed, that you cannot control everybody on this board and their opinions and what they do say during comments. I think the personal attacks in a public forum is absolutely uncalled for. And to be sitting here and witnessing what just happened, once again, is very embarrassing to the Will County Board and to the Will County residents. And I just want to apologize to them. I hope the residents can pay closer attention to what is going on here at the county, and let's start removing people that want to act in a childish behavior. And I'm sorry to say it, but that's exactly what is happening here. Calling somebody out in a public forum is, once again, uncalled for. We are here to legislate. And if you want to use your 3 minutes and your opportunity to drag somebody through the mud in a public comment, I have zero respect for you. Hopefully, we can move forward and use better judgment. And you'll never hear it coming from me. So I hope you all follow my lead. Thank you.
You guys put me in a very difficult position up here, and I'm gonna echo that as well. We tried to act in the behavior that we want everyone here to do it. Again, classroom management 101. And I agree. I am not here to censor people, shut them down. But again, this is not a political forum here. We're not a political forum when we're in here. We're here to legislate and do policy. So again, I am sure both sides are going to be disappointed in me. One, because I cut them off. Two, because I didn't cut them off soon enough. But I am expecting people to be adults, and this is not a political forum in here. So with that, we do have executive session to talk about pending legislation. I need a motion to go into pending litigation. I need a motion to go into executive session. Motion by Winfrey, seconded by Costa. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Richmond, Williams, Ogala, Pretzel, Butler, Newquist, Balich, Oxley, Brooks, Winfrey, Bullock, Logan, Freeman, Revis, Ortiz, Berkowitz, Hickey, Costa, Trainier, Van Dyne.
We're going to clear the boardroom, and then we'll. All right, we're now out of executive session. And with that, do you have a comment, Speaker Van Dyne? There's no.
I just want to mention that there will be no action taken after executive session. Thank you.
Thank you. And here we are. With that, I need a motion to recess until April 16th. Motion by Oxley, seconded by Costa. All in favor? Any opposed? We'll see you next month.